So isn't it the same character? Aren't they the same? So fundamentally, it's almost like the characters are completely different, even though when we really get clear, at the end of the Rings of Power season, we really hear some Gandalf-y lines.
When in doubt, Eleanor Brandyfoot. Always follow your nose.
That's quite similar to a line that's found in the Fellowship of the Ring.
The whole idea that Gandalf lost his mind, basically, is a strange thing to get your mind around. I think the most clarity we're really going to get is the clarity we have now. So sure, we can wait 2 years and say, okay, we're going to wait 2 years, but I think pretty much at this point we have some kind of barometer. We have some kind of way to basically form some kind of opinion as to whether the quote-unquote new Gandalf is like the old Gandalf. So first off, I'd like to say that quote-unquote Gandalf from the Fellowship of the Rings, we find him quoting phrases that we actually find Gandalf in the scene with Frodo basically paraphrasing scripture. And so quick shout out to RRTNZ that broached the fact that what Gandalf says to Frodo is actually a paraphrase of the Gospel of Matthew chapter 7. So fundamentally, the idea that Gandalf could ever be really a harm to the Harfoots, which are the ancestors of the Hobbits, is ludicrous. So fundamentally, the premise that the Rings of Power comes from, in that respect, really makes no sense when we really look at it. And especially if we just look at the movies, and I'm not even going to go anywhere else, but if we just look at the Fellowship of the Ring and we look at the Rings of Power, the idea that Gandalf could be a harm or could be anything other than light doesn't make sense. Now, there is, when you look at the Fellowship of the Ring, the idea that Gandalf brings trouble because Gandalf brings adventure. But that's more of a kind of mischievous kind of thing. But it isn't like he's a god like Loki that's bringing darkness. It's literally that in order to save the world, you have to come with him on a mission. So fundamentally, I do like the Stranger. They really don't even seem the same. And it's not just that the Stranger has lost his mind in some respect, or rather has amnesia. It's just that the trajectory of his character for the whole season doesn't match anything, for example, in LOTR. Like, there is never really any kind of hint in LOTR, Fellowship of the Ring, that Gandalf is really rooted in darkness or had ever really done something from a place of negativity or evil. I think the real problem that I have with the quote-unquote the Stranger, aka not Gandalf, aka Gandalf, is that it's sort of like a dumbing down of Gandalf, which isn't necessary. It's not necessary to dumb him down, and I think they did that, even though I have to be honest that the Stranger is actually one of the characters in the Rings of Power that I did enjoy. I'm going to keep saying it, that the idea that the three witches are just stupid, it doesn't make sense, and it's a hardcore plot hole. So that was really great because that showed us the spirit realm. So this actually is reminiscent of Gandalf in terms of level of power and prowess. So I actually really like this scene because it does show the power of Gandalf and how much of a strong practicer of the quote-unquote dark arts he is.